And roll D. And Zolson. So choose your name. 6 Move. And Zol Q.
Good to have you along at 10. I'm Scott Thompson.
And I'm Terry Hood. A Green Country Marine is a wanted man tonight. Why a warrant's out for his arrest in connection with another veteran's death.
The search for missing evidence tonight as a Tulsa man is helping with his mother's murder.
Oklahomans outraged tonight over the sentence a Tulsa fire captain received for killing his neighbor's dog.
But we begin at 10 as painful details come to light about alleged abuse at Oklahoma's Veterans Center. The deaths of several Oklahoma veterans legislative review. Lacey Lowry found many of the horror stories involving the Claremore Veterans Center, and the new details come from the center's own employees.
Okay, no keys here, no keys. 140, they came forward. We had Cam 10 with a name.
Shock as 2 employees at the Claremore Veterans Center explained the horrors at their job.
And we're scared. I can't be scared no more.
The 2 women say they work in an atmosphere of intimidation and threats, where if you aren't favored by certain supervisors, you're the target of scrutiny, write-ups, and firings. They say they're understaffed and overworked, to the point where employees lie on patient charts about the quality of care the veterans receive.
I'm scared to death of that legal document because basically I'm having to lie on that legal document so that I don't.
Okay, Senator is good. You can lock it in.
And Kim David met with 17 current Claremore employees and say they all echoed the same working conditions. Family members of veterans also testified, each detailing how their loved ones died at VA centers by what they claim was abuse, neglect, and retaliation. Frances Minter painfully recounted how her husband was scalded to death during his bath at the Claremore Veterans Center.
I said, I will find out who did this.
A follow-up investigation blamed the death on patient neglect and several other violations. Frances Bunn believes the Claremore Center overdosed her husband on painkillers to make him more cooperative. Bunn says she complained, the staff took it out on her husband, and she believes he died as a result. Another woman testified her husband's privates got infected due to lack of bathing at the Claremore VA, and she transferred him out because of the lack of care. Employees told committee members they need help. Suffering as a result, and that's why they came forward.
The
Oklahoma Department of Veterans Affairs has promised a complete overhaul. Senator Frank Simpson says the point of this legislative review is to face the failures of the VA system to bring about the proper change. The next meeting on October 23rd is also the last. Lacey Lowry, News on 6 tonight.
Tulsa homicide detectives are still looking for a motive tonight for why a son would murder his own mother. Matt Stick was arrested last Friday for the crime. Detectives say his mother, Veronica Stick, was at home waiting to meet an exterminator, and Matt was supposed to take her back to work afterwards. Instead, the exterminator found her on the porch, dead from a stab wound. Both mother and son worked at All Souls Unitarian Church, where Matt was arrested 5 hours later.
Hands on take.
Hopefully, as this thing drags out, we can kind of piece it together.
Detectives believe Matt Stick got rid of the knife and his cell phone somewhere between 29th and 36th Streets in Peoria. Anyone who finds the missing evidence should call Crime Stoppers at 596-COPS.
There's a warrant out for the arrest of a Green Country Marine tonight. Ryan Cripps faces manslaughter charges for the death of a fellow veteran. Police say Cripps was behind the wheel in this alcohol-related crash on the BA. Happened this spring. The SUV flipped off the highway, killing passenger Samuel Dash, an Army veteran who served in Iraq. Cripps was critically injured in that wreck. New developments tonight as a firefighter is sent to community service for killing a neighbor's dog.
Randy Shipman will have to volunteer for 80 hours at the Tulsa SPCA and pay a $600 fine. He was charged with animal cruelty after shooting his neighbor's boxer to death with a BB gun. The TFD fire captain resigned after his arrest. Shipman still faces a lawsuit from his neighbors.
Dozens of you sounded off within an hour after we posted this story on our Facebook page. Sandra says 2 weeks of community service and a small fine. What a joke.
We should get jail time also, writes Grace. These pets are a member of the family.
Lisa agrees. I feel like the punishment does not fit the crime. I think it's a slap on the hand for him. He did not need to shoot the dog, even if it was with a BB gun. He should have handled the situation like a man, especially since he held a job of authority.
Tamara adds if he had a problem with the dog, he should have talked to its owner. No one has the right to kill someone else's pet unless that pet is attacking someone.
But Sheila sees another side. I love animals, but I can understand how the barking dog can push you to the end. I had a neighbor whose dogs drove me to move. I wanted to kill them.
And
Deanna agrees. People are way more important than animals. If that animal disturbs the well-being and quality of life for another human, then the animal should go. It's sad, but it's a dog. You can join the conversation on Facebook or leave your thoughts inside any story at newson6.com. State legislative candidates debate education tonight. It's a hot topic, especially after the State Board of Education delayed the release this week of grades that would have given every school district in Oklahoma an A through F score. News on 6 reporter Ashley King is at tonight's education forum and has more tonight. Ashley.
And taking it.
Yeah, Terry, even competing candidates can agree that Oklahoma's education needs some drastic improvements, and both say that the formula for scoring schools isn't the answer. A dozen Tulsa area state, house, and Senate candidates are answering parents' questions about education.
Katie's at 14.
Republican Katie Hinke is a teacher, so education is near and dear to her heart.
If you have a grading system that is not accurate, how can we put that out there for parents to
Dan is at 27.
Democratic candidate Dan Arthrell is committed to promoting education through a fair system.
If we're going to be announcing grades, it should be on the same kind of scale that we announce the grades for students in schools.
Okay, big investment should be since 124 got Can 12 with.
Off releasing the grades. Since the two agree that the current grading system is all wrong, what's a better way to hold schools and teachers accountable for how they're doing?
We're not afraid of reform. We just need to make sure that it's accurate and truthful. And so taking the time to not just put a Band-Aid on something, but making sure that it's going to actually benefit the school and the students.
The answer is, it's all about the kids. What does it take for our kids to be well educated, to be ready for the workforce, to move on to higher education?
Both believe education should get more funding to help teachers meet all the state requirements.
I know as a school teacher myself that it is vital to have the resources in the classroom that teachers need.
The rubber meets the road with the teachers. That's where our big investment should be.
And thank you. Runs 128, Josh.
Also told me that it should be a collaborative effort between
going to see and when affects the bucks.
To come up with the most accurate way of grading. Ashley King, News on 6 tonight.
And thank you. So by A,
technology behind unmanned aircraft. Most drones were developed for the military. But at Oklahoma State University, they say they could easily be adapted for inspecting pipelines, crop dusting, and spotting wildfires. OSU has the only graduate program in the United States for unmanned aerial systems and is now partnering with a group in Canada to share research.
We are developing the state to be
a
center of excellence in unmanned aerial systems, testing and evaluation.
Thank you.
Working on a similar partnership with a group from
a new business is starting up in Bisbee. Sprouts Farmers Market broke ground this morning on its first store in the country. The store is going in on the southeast corner of 101st and Memorial. It will specialize in natural and organic food and dietary supplements.
They've got a great concept with quality produce that's actually purchased local, as well as all of their fruits and different things.
Thank you.
The store opens next May. There are 2 other Sprouts stores in Oklahoma, one in Oklahoma City and another in Edmond.
A doggy delivery in Chicago from Green Country tonight. 200 foster families. The Windy City are looking for adoptable dogs. Volunteers are scouring Oklahoma for suitable matches. Today they pulled into the shelter in Shakota that was built with a donation from Carrie Underwood. Shelter volunteers down there say the folks from Chicago had an unusual request. They were looking for older and larger dogs.
And sound check.
People don't want them. People want a puppy or
somebody her mic.
But these big dogs are nice dogs, and we're just trying to find them homes.
Thank you.
All the dogs
stand by the third. He's on
behavioral
6.
Health issues. Bullet, the one-eyed bulldog mix, made the cut. He's headed to meet his new family in Chicago.
Stand by 2 for the T's.
Each dog had to pass. Rick Wells compares it to doggy speed dating inside Rick's full story at newson6.com.
And take 2, a little music. So the pool.
Throwing punches tonight at American Airlines workers.
Why a high schooler asked for a baby to be included in her senior photo and was turned down.
New at 10 o'clock, proposal at a new downtown landmark.
Stormy spring-like weather is on back to the Osage Casinos.
When I got the call telling me that someone had died after a roach eating contest, I didn't believe it.
Thank you.
And the deadly prize for winning a bug-eating showdown.
Somebody break and road break control.
That was like the most textbookly executed. I don't think textbookly is the word, by the way. Executed, break one, two, go better. That was so dead on. Tight. You call it tight, or I punched it tight. It was tight. God, I looked just enough on the
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off cue.
Convicted sex offender Jerry Sandusky denies
Aim it
his
up.
crimes in
Somebody
court
with.
as he's confronted face-to-face by the boys who say
Roll
Sandusky abused them for years.
At his sentencing hearing today, the former Penn State coach offered a
Aim
rambling
it up.
15-minute speech.
Lotto in
saying
when
he
you
wasn't
can,
guilty.
Dean. Lotto in.
Sandusky
Somebody
also
be full
asked
sound
his
with. It's
wife,
frozen for 2
mentioned how much
seconds.
he missed his dog, quoted Thoreau, and referred to the movie Seabiscuit.
Will be sound.
The defendant, by his statements,
Take
seemed to re-victimize these young men who he tormented and victimized for so long.
My cue.
The judge dismissed Sandusky's claims of a vast conspiracy against him as unbelievable before sentencing him to 30 to 60 years in prison. Sandusky won't be eligible for parole until he's 98 years old.
A day after American Airlines CEO promises to make up for poor customer service experiences, we're getting an idea of just how bad the problem really is. Gate attendants say they have been attacked when announcing the airline's many recent delays and cancellations.
And sound.
The guy took a swing at me over the counter, missed my nose literally by, what is that, quarter of an inch, half inch?
My cue.
The same agent admits the frustrations have gotten so bad she and a co-worker walked off the job. Nearly half of all American flights last month were delayed or canceled. The airline blames protests by unhappy pilots, forcing flight delays after their contract was voided by a bankruptcy judge. American CEO says the company is adding extra planes and flight crews to ease delays.
Two cancer victims said they were humiliated by airport security screeners because of a medical misunderstanding. Marcia Dietrich had a double mastectomy battling breast cancer. She says a TSA worker got suspicious of her scars when she went through a body scanner, requiring she be searched by hand.
Sound.
And then she ran the backs of her hands around my breast in full view of everybody.
Thank you.
Dietrich says a private pat-down was
Symbol
never
A,
mentioned.
full sound. It's frozen.
According to
We'll go
TSA
with
policy, it's the traveler's
4-second
responsibility
break.
to ask for one. But leukemia patient Michelle Dunage claims she was denied that privacy at a Seattle airport.
And sound.
They just said that it was fine. The location that was fine.
Thank you.
Now she says a TSA agent made her lift her shirt and pull back her bandages as fellow passengers stared. Both women say TSA should be better trained to handle medical situations like theirs.
A Minnesota high school won't allow a teen mother to include her baby in her senior yearbook photo.
Going to be full sound with this frozen again.
Use the photo with her baby, but for now, the school is standing by its rule of allowing only one person in senior yearbook pictures.
Sound.
Kids have their dogs, kids have their trucks, kids have anything they want in their senior picture.
We really didn't feel like it was something that we wanted to start.
Thank you.
The superintendent says they don't have a set policy in place because it's never come up.
The Florida man collapses and dies after winning a bug-eating contest. Edward Archbold was competing for a friend who wanted to win the grand prize, a live python. But as soon as the contest ended, Archbold collapsed and died.
Will be. And sound take.
We're sad for the family, we're sad for us, we're sad for him. It's a bad situation.
Thank you.
The doctors say some people may have allergic reactions to eating roaches, but the roaches themselves aren't toxic. None of the other competitors got sick, much less died. Results from Archbold's autopsy will be back in a week or two. Pet Shop says it will give the python, worth about $800, to Archbold's estate. A symbol of the new life in downtown Tulsa's Brady District becomes the start of a new life together for a green country couple.
It's a nice story. We captured the surprise Oklahoma moment tonight at Guthrie Green. Our camera was rolling when Cameron popped the question to unsuspecting
full sound.
Cameron played their song but changed the lyrics at the end to ask for Megan's hand in marriage. She said yes.
Will be and sound take.
I had really no idea because he just said his friend was going to come out here and take pictures for his birthday.
And take 3.
Tonight marked the
Lotto out. Somebody Viz 3.
To add to the moment, it was also Cameron's birthday.
Take it,
and tonight our friends in McAllister and Kansas should see an improved over-the-air picture for all of our programming here on Channel 6. Improvements to our broadcast tower have enhanced our signal in those areas. If you are a cable or satellite customer in those communities and have an interruption in your service, you should be able to see us better with antenna reception.
And sound take. Somebody 4 with. And Zalkia.
Hey, that antenna reception too is going to be a big deal because we get so many complaints that when there's a storm and if you have some type of satellite receiving for your TV, that I can't get the TV, I can't get the warnings, what's going on. So this is a great way to help you guys to the north and to the south out with better reception when your TV signal goes out. Hopefully you'll be able to just tune out or tune in to Channel 6. All right, now, tonight, not much going on. We have a cool front in the area. Doesn't look impressive because there's nothing happening, but the cold front is there, and you can see a little bit of a line showing up across areas of the
3 minutes, Jim, please.
Cold front draping down into the area. Just not enough real moisture and energy to help out make any showers and storms as of now. That's going to change. There is plenty of cold air. That's all up to the north. You can just see how this big shot of cold air not affecting us. We're still fairly mild right now. Notice it's even warmer down in Texas. Here's the story, though, and it's going to affect us in a big way. It's out to the west of us. This is a big storm system. It's going to take a while to get here. And over the next couple of days, we'll have a few hit-and-miss showers and thunderstorms kind of right along the Kansas-Oklahoma border area. And it looks like Saturday will be our highest probability of most of us picking up storms and much-needed rain. But with the rain and the storms comes some big storms. Hail, wind, and also maybe some tornadoes. So that still looks very possible setting up for the Central Plains on Saturday. So we'll keep an eye on that. Here's a look at what happened today. I was going for about 70, 75 for a high. This is a look from Rogers State University, and it was cloudy all day long. And then when the clouds finally break, the sun's setting. So that didn't help us out a whole lot. Kind of clouds were curving a little bit as we started getting closer to that cool front. But still, it's a nice night across the area. And by the way, we're looking at Guthrie Green right now, and you can see a fountain in the background here. Our new building in the far background. It is a gorgeous night, though. Winds are light, just very comfortable outside at this hour.
2 minutes.
Winds have been very light tonight, and they've been primarily out of an easterly direction. They're calm at this moment. 59 degrees, 83% humidity, so a lot of moisture in the air. But that cold front coming in will scour out some of that moisture. Clouds today kept it cool at 65. Normal is for this time of year still 75. I say still 75. I'm still thinking about like 105 because it's just like we haven't been, it wasn't that long ago we were there. The good news is with the frost that we had that wrecked my tomato plants, it also did get rid of the pollen, quite a bit of it, and the mold. These numbers are way, way down, so if you suffer with allergies, you should be feeling better. Maybe not perfect, but better. Temperatures tonight, kind of wide-ranging. We do have some temperatures down to 51, for example, at Nowata, 59 here in Tulsa, still hanging on to 61 in McAllister. And we're looking at a kind of an interesting night tonight. That
1 big minute, Jim, please. One.
Winds behind it. Hominy now has winds out of the north at 22 miles per hour, 4 Acre at 13 miles per hour, around Pawnee, 24 mile per hour winds. So as that front pushes further to the south, notice how light our winds are, 1 to 5 miles per hour. We're talking about that front kicking it in gear a little bit, and so it'll be a little gusty overnight, and then the winds die down a little bit tomorrow. It'll be cool in the morning, low to mid-40s, with still maybe about 48 in Tulsa. Tomorrow we'll get some sun, and a few clouds come back in the afternoon, but we'll be in the upper 60s and low 70s. So even though we've had the cool front come through, it'll be actually warmer than it was today before the cool front because of all those clouds.
30
so
seconds
once this
left.
front passes through, we're not really worried too much about anything. Really what we're going to keep our eyes on is that system that's out west. Doesn't look like much now, but hopefully it will deliver some much needed rain to eastern Oklahoma, even though it is over the weekend. So here's the way our forecast shapes up. Tomorrow morning,
seconds.
good, 48, cool. Cool front across the area. We'll have partly sunny skies, 65. Then topping out around 72 in the afternoon with an east wind, about 10, maybe up to 15 miles per hour.
That's a wrap.
Our chance of rain, we'll see a little bit of a chance coming in Thursday morning. Most of it is for you guys up to the north of Tulsa. And a 40% chance showers and storms for late Thursday night and again, mainly from Tulsa to the north and east. You have guys have better chance of rain. Then all of us get into the act for Saturday afternoon. 60% chance of rain, thunderstorms, some heavy or severe. And look at the temperatures. There's no more 32 on the map. Lowest temperature is tonight at 48. And all of a sudden we're back to some extremely warm weather across the area. What a bounce back.
And so,
yeah, big time. We feel better in McAllister and Caney, Kansas.
Through all that rain.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. Thanks, Trav.
Right.
And John's got sports tonight.
Yeah, you're always looking for something positive. That's what I like about you guys.
And turn take.
Year Wiser tops our Napa Sports Fest
Animate
tonight.
box.
The whole thing
And
seemed to be
amazing.
moving too fast for David Ash last
Animate
season,
up.
but this fall,
Some
the
of A full
Texas
sound.
sophomore quarterback has been even better than expected. He'll head into Saturday's game with the Sooners a little less wide-eyed.
Sound take.
You know, I still have moments as a sophomore, and I'm just going to try to learn something. And I think that's what we do.
Brian is at like 13.
Feedback. So that's what we're going to treat it as.
And he's prepared himself well. I think there's a lot of things probably from this game
We're going
last
to
year
be next in
that
his
we
month.
were able
This
to
is
use
25.
in spring ball, fall camp, summer. and look at how we played in that game.
Will be, and we'll keep.
TCU starting quarterback Casey Paul Hall is dropping out of school to enter a rehab program for drug and alcohol addiction. Paul Hall was arrested on suspicion of driving while intoxicated last week. TCU head coach Gary Patterson says it's possible Paul Hall could return to school next year. When Texas El Paso put a bit of a scare into the Sooners in the season opener, it looked like the Miners might be able to challenge in Conference USA West.
It's going to be full sound.
The win this season is over New Mexico State. They were shut out by SMU on Saturday. And now the Miners look like a huge underdog as they come to Tulsa for a Thursday night game with the Golden Hurricane.
I like the fact that we're playing sooner. I would have hated to have gone through this week.
Going to Viz 3 next is Mike.
This way, golly.
This one's 14.
As far as our players are concerned, they don't even remember who we played. All they're thinking about is Tulsa.
The Hurricane and the Miners kick things off at 7
Going to break off of this.
Chapman Stadium. Tickets still available, and we're back with more in a moment.
So we'll break, and we'll break and control. And Will D and Zolson.
Driven by your
Stand by A and his Mike.
This is News on 6 Sports with John Holden.
Roy and we'll Q.
The CHL season starts in 10 days for the Tulsa Oilers. They went
the
second day of training this morning. Head coach Bruce Ramsey expects his squad to be explosive.
Will be and sound. And
Q. This year, I went and got some players I think that we haven't had here in quite a few years that are proven, that are capable of doing a lot of things.
And take you.
Danny Manning's first season in
charge tips
off with an exhibition game against Emporia State on the 27th. Today at Conference USA Media Days in Irving, Texas, Manning said the exhibition trip to Canada in August was a big
plus. It's on take.
We got a chance to put in a little bit of our system. We got the skeleton in, the framework of the foundation.
We're going to be VO and his Mike.
That's really helped us in these fall workouts, guys, kind of knowing what we want,
what
we expect, and they get after it every day. That's all we can ask.
In baseball, Game 3, Reds and Giants in Cincinnati tied at 1 in the 10th, 2-on for San Francisco. The chopper third, misplay by Scott Rowland. Buster Posey scores. It's 2-1 Giants, and they make it stand up. The series will go to a Game 4 in Cincinnati. San Francisco wins the final 2-1. Finally tonight, time to unveil our latest Bob Hurley Auto Family Athlete of the Week. It's Carson Smallwood from Pryor. Just another ho-hum evening for the senior. 180 yards and had 7 tackles and an interception in the Tigers' win over the road. It's a pretty full night, and he qualifies for the Athlete of the Year. As
so
we'll
hold a banquet competition,
later on. We don't just pick a bunch of slackers.
No, we do not.
No. Not that there are any out there to begin with, okay? I just want to make that clear.
No, we keep them all here. We'll be back.
So we break, and we'll break control. Stand by 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Zolf Q. Stand by A for roll out, and Zolf, run your copy,
in Caney, Kansas.
And run it back.
Have a great night. Letterman's next.
3, 2, 1, control. Thank y'all.